Fire and Ice, welcome to Smallville, issue number 2. It's cool to be back in this world. It feels like it's been forever since anybody had an idea for Fire and Ice, like they're kind of forgotten, not really talked about, but I think they hold like a very special place to a very specific generation. They were like the young up-and-comers in like the late 80s and the 90s, and then that generation's grown up, and that generation is writing comic books now. So doing like a millennial takedown of the fear of missing out and trying to fit in with the youth, that's perfect for these characters. And it's a really fun idea that, honestly, this book feels like the secret, like, untalked about project in the dawn of DC, where everyone's like, yeah, Superman and Batman, they're doing their big stuff. Quietly in the corner, this book is sexy, it's funny, and it says the word porn twice. And that's really cool to me. I don't know why. I just find that so interesting that this book is taking chances in different ways. It's really cool. So at the end of the first issue, Fire wanted to hire Ambush Bug so she could beat him up. We open up this issue, and she's just beating him up a little bit. And dude's got like a fetish for it, and he's really enjoying it. A little too much. And it kind of ends with her like giving him like a smooch on the cheek, and then tossing him aside. And then she's looking at the footage afterwards, and she's like, why did this only get 38 views? It's really cool. Like, come on, Tam. I thought you said like all the kids are on this app. Why does nobody want to watch this? And Tam, who's like the young woman that used to work at the salon, she's coming back to like help them, run the place because Fire and Ice moved into the upstairs of like a hair salon called the Big T's. And you're like, yeah, that's fun. And she's like, well, maybe it's because nobody cares about you or Ambush Bug. Like, who is Ambush Bug? And who are you? She's like, we were both on the Justice League, but like, not the real Justice League. You're not that interesting. And like that fight with you and Guy Gardner, that's interesting. Like this one TikTok of it's got like 1 million views. Like, that's cool. That's cool. Like, that's what you should be doing. She's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? People are just taking the things I do and they're making money off it. And they're not even claiming I'm a part of it. They're not even putting my name in it. Do I have to like get people to sign my cleavage and just write my name on it so people talk to me? Like, was that what's going on? This is a fun idea for Fire. I don't care if nobody likes it. Like, what else are you gonna do? It's a cool concept for this character. That's the moment when Ice walks in and she's like, if we don't have any appointments, I don't know what I'm gonna do today. And just as she says that, in walks Rocky Rhodes, who's like the waitress from the diner. And she's like, yo, what's up? I thought I could show you Smallville. And the instant connection between Rocky and Ice is really putting Fire in a bad position where she's kind of getting like, who is this lady? What's she doing? What are they talking about? Like antiquing and going to like a used bookstore. What is that? And Tam's like, I don't know what the white women are doing. What am I supposed to know what any of this is? They're white women. They're going to do weird stuff. I like the little jealousy in there, Like Fire doesn't want to be here. She hates that Ice is getting comfortable being in this situation. And now she's already made other friends to go do stuff with. And Fire really has nothing else going on. She doesn't want to run the hair salon. She doesn't want to do the stuff that Ice wants to do. What's she going to do? It's very fun. And we just kind of like see the wall of characters again. The villains that you see Fire wants to take down. There's a joke about the gentleman ghost not being able to touch virgins. And you're like, that's in this book? That's in this book? We're allowed to have like that kind of silly, sexy, fun time in here? Okay, cool. So, it's fun. It's like 10 in the morning. Ice is about to hang out with her new friend. She changed into like normal people clothes. And then Fire's like, well, I don't work at the salon. I don't care. I'm just going to go over to the bar across the street and I'm going to drink. So she walks in and there's a handsome man who like runs the bar. His name is Charlie. He is in a wheelchair. And instantly, these two are just flirting with each other. She's like, you have anything that'll make me feel young? He's like, yeah, my number. He's like, oh, I might need something stronger than that. She's like, don't worry, I got you. And gives her a glass of, the strongest whiskey with his number under it. And it's really cute. I like it. Come on. Fire is a firecracker, right? She's just waiting to burst, waiting to go off. Have her alone in a bar at 10 a.m. just drinking and flirting with a guy. It's funny. Contrasting that is Ice with Rocky, and they go to like a used bookstore, they buy a bunch of books, and they're heading to the medical center, and they're going to like give out the books and spend time with like the children that were there. This is where Rocky reveals that her brother used to have to go to this hospital, and they struggled there for a bit, so she did like extra work to help her brother get out of there. What happened to her brother? We don't know. Oh, but yes, we are going to know, because her brother is Charlie, the guy that Fire is currently flirting with. And it's really fun. It starts off just simple, and she's like, you got the good stuff? He's like, yeah, it's upstairs, but it's like on the top shelf. I might need some help getting it down there. She's like, well, maybe next time. Very fun. You're not going to take my number? She's like, well, I know where to find you. At least take my socials, so you can follow me on like FabGab or whatever it's called, like at Open Roads. And she's like, oh, that's what you're the brother to the, okay, that's cool. And this is where this is where I'm like, oh, I can't believe we're doing this in this book, where she's like, you have 1 million followers because you're shirtless and you're exploiting yourself. And he's like, yeah, chicks dig the chair, and it's like they're gonna like fix a little broken bird and like heal him back up, and it's inspirational porn, and that's like the new porn people like, so they tell me I'm brave, and they're like, you're hanging in there, you're doing so good, so I'm just like, screw it, I might as well make some money off of it. And that's when Fire's like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This guy gets to make money? You're like rich? And you own a bar? Damn, son, I love you. And he's like, really? I thought you liked me for my booze. You actually like me for my cash? He's like, no, it's the booze, but I'm going to make my own cash. So what's she up to? What is Fire cooking? We'll find out in a minute, because we cut back to Ice and Rocky, and they are headed back to the Big T's. And when they step inside, we see that Fire has brought in all of the villains that they were planning to fight, and a couple other ones. There's a bunch of people in there. And Ice is like, oh shit, okay, I'm going to fight everybody. Fire charges in like, don't worry, I got this under control. Like, everything's going to be okay. Like, I know what I'm doing here. Everything is working. Do not get scared. But she gets mad when she realizes that Fire has put cameras everywhere and is going to turn this new reality where these villains are like going to be rehabilitated into like a web series on FabGab. And it's like, okay, I see what we're doing here, which is kind of fun. The key is that the key thing that is making this work is that Fire really doesn't know what young people like. So she's like, I guess I could kind of make this inspirational, because inspirational porn's the new porn. So if I can do that, I'll get some more followers. So then we cut to like some talking heads with some of the villains like doing their thing in the bathroom. We have Linka, who is the sister to Gorilla Grodd, I think. It's like a famous gorilla. She's a sister too. She's like, it's such like a male-dominated society. No one remembers the woman. Ambush Bug is there, and he's just like, oh man, I got some stiff competition, but I hope I get the rose, You're like, okay, shut up. And then Smarty Pants is there, and he's got like a brain in his butt, and you're like, yay, that's funny. It's funny. Then Tam needs to use the bathroom, but she can't get in because everybody's doing their talking head pieces in their confessionals. And it's like, okay, well, I should just find a new bathroom. It's Lot's wife that walks out, and there's some tension between her and Miss Congeniality, who's like this beautiful woman with a gun, and it looks like they're gonna fight. Uh-oh, what's gonna happen there? But Fire and Ice are also kind of like having their own argument, where you see that Ice is like, you put cameras in the mirrors, you put them in the bathrooms. This is all a lot. I don't like any of this. It's very intense. And that's going on. Some of the other women getting in a fight, Miss Congeniality and Lot's wife are fighting, and there's a little scrape. Some of the women are just beating each other up and fighting. What does that mean? It means the men think this is great TV. Like, look at these girls who all hate each other, and they're mad, and they're just going to get into a scrape. And as that is happening, Elrond walks back in. That's their little robot sidekick. He's like, yo, there's somebody at the door. He's asking questions, and he's taking pictures. And that is when we see that the person who is wanting to come inside to take pictures of this new situation is none other than Jimmy Olsen. And he's like, yo, I heard there's some big stuff going on here. Could I walk in? Perfect. Oh, good Jimmy. What a good Jimmy boy. You just love a little Jimmy, a little Jimster. He's just showing up. And it's like, yeah, look at these like dysfunctional Z-list characters working in a hair salon about like getting their lives back on track, all because Fire learned about the idea of inspiration porn. It is so funny, and it's like no other book at DC's doing like this tongue-in-cheek thing. It's so on the nose. It's so like aspirationally sexy and flirty that I just dig it so much. Because like Fire and Ice are essentially like the lost generation of DC heroes. I feel like there's been like reclamation for the Titans era and the era after Titans. Like they're not in the same era as like Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, and all of those characters. They're caught in between the two, like the post-millennial, probably in their 30s, but not in like the old 30s of the other characters. So this is a really cool idea for them, and I'm so glad somebody had it. Like, it's so fun. The fear of not being with your best friend, like moving on and having different ideals, and this idea that if you're not online, you're never going to have the success and the dream that you've wanted. That's really cool, and I dig it so much in this book. I really like this story. Like, it went to ways, it went to areas, I should say, that were just so cool and so much fun, and I want to see more. I hope it goes on for a while. So, Fire and Ice, welcome to Smallville, issue number 2. I am going to give a 9 out of 10. So thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as always, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.